If you're in the market for investment-worthy bags, watches, and fine jewelry, Rebag is the answer. Rebag is a luxury resale marketplace where each piece is carefully vetted and verified by experts to ensure quality and authenticity. If you're in the market, use Rebag to buy and sell finds from the world's top brands, including Hermes, Chanel, and Cartier. Head to Rebag.com to get 10% off your first purchase with code REBAG10. Shop today at Rebag.com. That's REBAG.com and use promo code REBAG10 for 10% off your first purchase.
This is GoPowerCat.com publisher Tim Fitzgerald. Thank you for listening to this PowerCat podcast. Make sure you never miss an episode of the PowerCat podcast by subscribing on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, or your favorite podcast network. And if you enjoy this podcast, please consider becoming a subscriber to GoPowerCat.com. We cover the Wildcats like no one else, with our VIP customers enjoying one-of-a-kind coverage from our team of professional journalists. And sign up today for an annual subscription to GPC and grab a 30% discount on your first year. And now here's the PowerCat Podcast.
The following is a GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street production. You've discovered your link to GoPowerCat.com's PowerCat Overtime podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor, and it starts right now. Now, let's go to the WTC Gig-Powered Studios. Here's your host, GoPowerCat.com publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
Welcome to the Overtime Podcast, the PowerCat Overtime Podcast, the podcast that we end your week with by having fun. You ask us something, we answer it. It doesn't have to be about Kansas State sports. It can be about anything. Within reason, we try to keep it PG-13.
Right.
For the most part. I bleep out my cussing, which I do on this, and I use the word, well, I can't say it, but it was an Anchorman.
I was going to say, what is PG-13 about that? Hey, you get one.
Yeah.
You get one.
We're sponsored by The Fridge. They are R-rated when it comes to getting you booze. They're so good, they're nasty. Get to The Fridge at the corner of this and that in the town in which we live.
It sounded like an ad for something else. I was not comfortable listening to that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to talk this way the whole...
Please don't. I will leave.
Hey, I won't do that because I need Riley in here.
You have a high bar to meet. Oh, last week was pretty good.
It was good, and our downloads weren't what I expected. I don't know what you people want.
Well, if they're not listening, then, I mean, how can you find out what they want if they didn't listen? Because they're not hearing you tell them that you don't know what they want.
Brilliant.
It's a vicious, never-ending cycle.
The Whopper didn't do as well as I thought it would. Last week, I thought it was laugh out loud funny, which is pretty egotistical to say it since I'm part of it and I put it together. But there were some times in there I still chuckled about stuff that Zach said something that made me laugh repeatedly.
That's fair. Loser.
That was it.
That was pretty good.
We're sponsored by The Fridge. Seriously, go to The Fridge. Pledge your loyalty to The Fridge. Look, I'm having a bad fall, okay? Last year, my favorite restaurant, Wahoo, went out of business because not enough people were going, apparently. And now another one of my favorite restaurants in Aggieville has gone under. Celtic Star. Where's my Irish ass going to get good fish and chips now? They were so good.
They were.
And now I find out the East Side and West Side markets are going out of business because the owner's retiring. And, honestly, probably they're not very profitable, so there's not much value in selling it. I don't think she owns the buildings, so there's not much there to sell.
Life isn't really fair.
Those are good little local businesses.
I'm going to miss the watermelon sign.
I mean, oh, my God. If you wanted to do plants, flowers... We do hostas. I probably bought 20 hostas there, more than that this year. And then their fruit, their Colorado peaches. Oh. So good.
It's a little weird.
Bring in the whole truck of Colorado peaches. They unload the fresh peaches right from the weed fields of Colorado. I don't think they really grow them together. Anyhow, it's been rough, man. We're losing businesses.
And Panera.
Oh, my God. Panera set a world record for a franchise going out of business on the east side of town. You probably didn't even know there was a Panera out on Highway 24 towards Wamego.
Because when you go there, you're going to Raising Cane's.
Yep, it's right. It was right next to Raising Cane's, tucked awkwardly in a parking lot, and then nobody went.
Hidden behind Faith Furniture.
So I'm not upset about that. I mean, I am. People had jobs, but I get sad when local businesses go under because people put their heart, soul, and honestly their financial well-being into that instead of just getting jobs and working for other people and making a living. They take a risk to employ other people, and then to see them fail, particularly when they're friends of mine, I get upset. So, this is an ad about the fridge. Locally owned, go there. But when you're in town, eat, drink, and be local. Please. This is a great town. Don't let it become just like every other suburban place that you might be coming from that has a bunch of franchise stuff. We pride ourselves in good local eats, drinks, and other places, and they're all struggling. Yeah, that's it. That's what I got to say. I'm out. It's been a good podcast.
But we want Brahms.
But
I heard there's a big old signage issue with that, by the way.
Yeah, there is.
Ugh. I'm really disappointed because I live on that side, and honestly, that was one of the pros to living over there. Hey, we'll have a Brahms soon.
I want a cheeseburger. I just want a cheeseburger. Cheeseburger. Just want a cheeseburger. A cheeseburger. Give me a cheeseburger. I want a cheeseburger.
Brahms, don't fight it. I mean,
I guess I don't understand. What's the signage issue?
No.
Like, they can't put a sign up?
They can't put that big Brahms sign up.
Well, what the hell? Why not?
Because it's a signage.
I can see Raising Cane's sign from here, and we're not even that close.
That's because that is more of a commercial corridor. That's more of a. I mean, there's businesses across like offices, dentist practices, doctor's practices. Then there's residential places and a garden center. There's no other.
Get your ice cream and then get your health checkup.
I don't know.
I thought it was about like that you're only allowed in Manhattan to have one sign on each side of your building, and they wanted to have like 12 total.
I don't know.
That seems excessive.
Yeah, but like, are they counting like a little neon sign that says shakes or burgers on it as a sign? Like,
well,
there's
this town tends to get a little oversensitive about stuff, but I get it. I understand. There's some things out there you got to have rules. Everyone needs to follow the rules, except for me.
The Home Depot cannot be too orange.
No, oh my God.
Is that a real thing?
That was a real thing.
That was a real thing.
Wow.
This town gets caught up. The Target couldn't build a fully dedicated grocery store. And then they ended up renovating and adding a grocery store, and then they didn't mind. It's just ridiculous, this town.
Let's talk about fun things instead.
Let's talk about here's something fun from Zach. It's your questions from Wabash Station as we delve into the overtime with poop jokes.
From Exhausted Nihilist, true or false, if you rub the side of a White Claw can really hard with a gum eraser, the letters ZIMA will appear?
Oh my God, I never thought of that.
I figured you would be like the one like right up the alley for this.
I never have had a Zima. No,
what?
No. This isn't my thing. I'm into manly drinks like lemon drop martinis.
Dang, I wish my parents were on this podcast. They were all about the Zima thing. When it came back, what was that, last year, 2 years ago? When it came back, they were all about it. And I'm like, honestly, this thing kind of sucks. Like,
it sounds like a disease carried by mosquitoes in South America.
There's been a Zima outbreak across the Midwest.
I'll say no. All right, you can make fun of me all you want. I say enough things to get made fun of, so what's one more? White Claws are good, man.
Oh, hell no!
Seltzers are good, man. Now, they're not as good as the Natty Seltzers, but I'm on the seltzer train.
I came across a table with a K-State athletics official at it, and a couple TCU guys, another K-Stater, and Tanner's on Friday night, and they were drinking buckets of Truly.
See, the Truly's too fruity for me. There's too much to it there. Not about that.
I would not call them out, Magular, but I would say that I'm disappointed in Magular for drinking fruity Trulies instead of man beers. Magular.
I had to think about it. I couldn't understand what you were saying the first time.
I expect it from the TCU guys. They're those fancy Fort Worth fellas. You're a K-Stater, by golly. Magular.
Oh, man.
But I won't mention who it is, Magular.
Okay. From Julie Gates, I don't know where this question got posted.
We were in the bar in Hayes 2 weeks ago at Oktoberfest, and we were talking about the podcast. Dad was talking about it for some reason, and she asked me how she submits a question, and I said, well, you either got to post it on the boards or tweet it to us. And
Just
she said, why can't I
tweet it.
just tell it to you? And I'm like, you really think I'm going to remember what you asked me sitting in a bar in Hayes tonight? And then she tweeted it to me, and I still forgot. So
I think she tweeted it to me, too.
Yeah, and me too. And nothing in there said, it was just out of nowhere. She's asking me these bizarre questions, and I knew one thing. Julie's drunk.
I'm so drunk I can barely see, but it helps me get through another day. My stomach is filled with haggis and head. I've got to go puking some hay.
that was a thing. So yeah, she was upset that I didn't ask these last week.
So Julie Gates asks, what college has the best live mascot?
There's a lot of different ways of looking at this, I think. Because like if you want like what I think is probably like one of the most unique or maybe the coolest thing to have, the Georgia Bulldog is really cool because he doesn't do anything. He sits in an air-conditioned doghouse.
Is he cooler than the Mississippi State Bulldog?
I don't know about that, actually. But they don't do a whole lot. And then you've got your guy like Mike the Tiger who eats the logo of the opposing team in beef, which is amazing. I don't know who to give more credit to.
But he doesn't come to the game. He's just on campus.
Still.
He's nearby.
And then you've got, of course, Ralphie.
It's a stampede!
Is that illegal yet?
What?
Is it illegal to, like, I feel like they're going to stop running Ralphie soon.
Well, we don't know. They play in the Pac-12.
Oh, yes. And Pac-12 football
nobody
doesn't
sees that.
happen.
I don't think that it's illegal.
There's
just
talks
saying,
about
that was
banning
more-
it because
yeah.
it's too dangerous. You're letting a giant buffalo run loose with guys hanging on like they could actually stop the buffalo.
One of these days, it's going to get loose and hurt somebody.
I agree.
Bevo almost hurt Ugga last year.
Oh, yeah.
Florida should have a live mascot.
They should.
It'd be kind of fun. They call it a gator chomp and put him at midfield and throw some food at him, and then they have to worry about corralling him after.
That seems ill-advised.
I think that sounds amazing. I don't know. My answer, the Sooner Schooner.
Which tipped over.
Yikes.
I have to go with Ralphie. I mean, you have a live buffalo basically running free in the pregame, and people might die. That's cool.
Dark Horse, the Notre Dame mascot. He's literally alive.
Or West Virginia.
Yeah, they are live mascots, and they actually go to the games and cheer. So
I wish Baylor had
Those
a
will
live
be
mascot.
if you wish Baylor had a
I wish
live
Baylor
mascot,
had a live mascot.
I mean, if you want to take it by the literal sense of the word, every live mascot except for West Virginia and Notre Dame, and I guess Florida State to a certain extent, Texas Tech to a certain extent, they all suck. They don't cheer. Bevo doesn't cheer.
Oklahoma State technically has a live mascot.
And they reveal who their mascots are. So, like...
Oh, I was talking about the horse, Bullet.
Oh.
But you are correct about them revealing...
Oh, the Texas Tech one's way up there for me. What's the Texas
the
Tech
Masked
one?
Rider.
Yeah, that horse is pretty cool. That's a good choice. That might be my favorite.
After the Buffalo?
Yeah, the buffalo's pretty cool.
Again, tough to really compare, I think. The War Eagle at Auburn, that's really cool.
The Falcon.
Yeah.
Eagle.
No, or Air Force Falcon.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
We're
cool
talking
too.
about flying birds.
Yes.
Oh, there's that Jayhawk. That's real.
Oh, wait, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
If a natural disaster came to your game while you were playing, would it count as being a live mascot?
Iowa State?
I was thinking Miami.
Ah. That's a dark horse right there, if you ask
Or
me.
Tulsa.
Not just any hurricane.
A golden hurricane.
Oh, those golden hurricanes. There we go. That's into that. Does she have more?
No. Well, she had more, but
Oh, God.
other
She
people
had
also
other
had
ones.
more.
She had so many. I don't know why we did that one. Just to make her feel better? I'm not sure. I mean, did we really make her feel better? Was that answer so good that she's like, oh, I've accomplished something in my life other than having 17 children?
She'll tweet us.
My days working, taking care of my little ones can be a lot. I checked out care.com and it was so easy for me to find local, experienced, and background check sitters. Finding our babysitter was way more affordable than I thought.
Care.com makes it super easy. Search for qualified candidates. You can view their profiles, read reviews and ratings, check their availability, send messages directly, and get the help that you need. Care.com should be every person's go-to.
With Blue Link Plus, you can access your Hyundai Tucson Limited remotely. Doors unlocked, temperature set, lost car found.
There it is.
Get complimentary class-leading Blue Link Plus. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
From KM Wildcat, if K-State could no longer be called the Wildcats, what mascot would you choose?
It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
It's tough. I would say you got to make, like, regional sense or something, but you actually don't because...
But I'm a big fan of that. You should make regional sense. I don't like when someone has a mascot that isn't in their region. It bothers me.
Let's think of some outlandish ones.
Pioneers.
A Sun Devil.
Well, they were the Farmers at one point.
That would be just... Honestly, at that point, I would agree with KU fans that you can label K-State a bunch of ag hicks. If they were the Kansas State Farmers, how do you come back from that?
You don't. You're not in the Big 12.
I mean, yeah, come on.
Well, if you
We
want
make your food.
We're just not going to have you in the conference. You're the Farmers. But as Aggies, that's permissible around the world.
I don't want to be Aggies again. Also, Texas A&M doesn't really like embrace. It's a dog.
Oh, they have a live mascot too.
Yeah, but I'm not a big Border Collie fan.
It's a dog.
It's really long hair. I don't like it. Honestly, and I'm not just saying this because I kind of like Duke basketball, but like Devils are really cool. Sun Devils, Blue Devils.
Okay, Catholic boy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. You make a really good point there.
Repent on that one.
Mm-hmm.
No.
The devil is cool, says Riley Gates.
God's like, yeah, you're going to have to explain yourself.
Damn, I just got another check mark on the list.
I think Kansas Wesleyan has a very consummate Kansas mascot in the Coyotes.
Yeah, that's good. The Gorillas. Pitt
That
State.
doesn't make any sense to me.
Why?
Why is Pitt State the Gorillas?
So only African teams can be gorillas?
Well, yeah, you should have a mascot that applies to your region.
Well,
you shouldn't be the Cyclones in Iowa. You shouldn't be the Hurricane in Tulsa.
Has there never been a tornado in Iowa?
That's not what a cyclone is. A cyclone is a hurricane in the southern hemisphere. They don't even know what their damn mascot is.
Damn.
He's right.
Fair.
Cyclone is
A cyclone is not a tornado.
This is a cyclone warning.
Should have evacuated days ago.
I just like the Gorillas because of the rant that Mike Leach went on when he was going through all the teams he had played, and that was welcome to Pitt State because you're about to play the Gorillas.
Well, to counter your argument about the Gorillas, if you want a mascot that is based on the region you're in, Pitt State is the Gorillas. Why not the Giraffes? Kansas is a zoo.
That's fair.
There we go.
That's fair. Therefore, we are the Kansas State orangutans. Rhinoceratops. We're not going to go with rhinoceri. We're going to go with rhinoceratops.
Copperheads.
It's not bad.
All I'm saying is, like, if it came down to it and K-State had to rebrand itself something, I think it would be incredibly lame. It would either be cliche or it would be just a loser name of some sort.
Sunflowers.
Yeah, I mean, like, just something awful. It could be the Ringnecks. Hill City's the Ringnecks.
Oh, you don't want to be named after a pheasant?
I won't lie. The Hill City Ringnecks is a really cool name, except we kind of called them the Hill City Rednecks a few times. Yeah. You get yourself in trouble with that one.
I don't know.
That's a tough question.
I mean, I think if Manhattan had a minor league baseball team and with Mbeth in town, I want them to be the Mad Cows. The Manhattan
we would
Mad
be the
Cows.
Kansas State Cattle. That's what we would be.
My minor league baseball team or replacement Manhattan High or new Manhattan High School mascot would be Steamboats. For the steamboat.
I like
that
it.
got stuck.
Right there.
Caused us to exist.
Right.
Steamboat
I'm not
Hartford.
going to ask you. You can tell me the story later. I don't want to hear it on the podcast.
We were
God
originally
bless
the
it.
settlement of New Boston, but they were struggling to get enough people, and then a steamboat came down the river and got caught on a sandbar, and they got off there, and they were heading towards Junction City, and they said, if you stay here, they were from New York, we'll name it our town Manhattan. There you go.
That's something new.
And that's why our friends at New Boston Media are New Boston Media, because that was the original name, Manhattan.
I learned something new today.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm all for the steamboats.
Thank you.
I like that name. But I think another good name would be the Bulls.
The Balls or the Bulls?
That's it for the podcast. We just changed Kansas State's nickname to the Bulls. We'll be seeing you next year.
Yikes.
As everyone unsubscribes. The Bulls. I mean, it's an ag
You really
name.
need to enunciate.
You need to put that
Bulls.
Bowl.
Move on.
B-O-W-L.
And think about it. When a ref makes a bad call, it is context.
Move on. Move on.
Also from KM Wildcat. What Willie Wildcat tackling episode is your favorite?
This is an underrated question because I spent so many Sundays after games looking on YouTube to find the skit because I loved those things when they were allowed to happen.
I have no opinion on this. Go.
You don't like them?
I thought it was stupid from the get-go.
I always loved them.
The one where the kid had the seizure because that's the one that ended them.
Rightfully so.
Damn it.
Call an ambulance! Shut up! He's dead!
Damn it, man. I wanted to. He took on the question. He took my initial answer was the Nebraska one, where
That's a pretty good one.
they roped up Willie and threw him in a cornfield. The logistics of it, that Willie was strong enough to escape a tied rope behind his back and legs, whatever. But I'll go with the Colorado game. I think it was 2000, what year would that have been? 10, maybe? When they advised people to not walk home alone because of Where Willie, and they used the old Willie head, the one that's in the Union, and I legit couldn't believe that they actually used the old Willie head on account of what if something happened to it? But that was really cool, and then he woke up and he was normal Willie. Now we're just going to ignore the fact that a bunch of humans walked by a cat man laying in a yard asleep, but that was really cool too, just because they used the old Willie.
The Nebraska one's the only skit
Standing up.
It's the only skit I can think of because that's the only one I think I see on YouTube.
There's a Nebraska one. Are you done over there?
I'm not done. I'm not happy.
There's a KU one.
You're gonna have to swallow a little bit.
I got it. The KU one in 2012, I think it was 12 or maybe 11. I forget which year it was. Because he hit the Jayhawks so hard that his head fell off. Willie's head fell the hell off.
That was good.
That was hilarious.
And I was stunned. It's a human being under there.
I know. It's crazy.
Kids were crying. Cats and dogs were living together.
I was kind of in that phase where, my little brother Tyson he wasn't dumb enough to think it was a legit man cat, but also he was not fully on board with there's a human under there. I mean, Willie was still a thing, like legit thing, so that was a tough one to describe.
How did Parker handle it?
Not good.
I'm trying to think, like 15 years ago, I thought there was one where they had like cardboard, but they were like bars, like they popped up like Rusty's Last Chance or something, and like he got it, like Willie went inside, beat up some people or beat up the Marshall mascot or what, I don't know what. It was like on the field that they did it.
I'm trying to think.
I think we're gonna have to just have.
If you go look at the Waterboy,
these.
if you go look at the Waterboy skit that they did like in '98 or whatever, that was a really good one too. In 2000, whatever year that was.
Moving on from Chris66204, how do each of you think you would do in prison?
Not well.
Tell me, Shorts, who's the toughest guy here? Who's the biggest badass on the cell block?
Whatever you do, don't go near those guys. It's to express ourselves and to extinguish. They're Scientologists.
They don't look so tough.
Yeah. They'll talk your ear off and then sue your ass.
Let me clarify my question, Shorts. Who's the most dangerous sexual predator on the cell block?
Oh, that's easy.
It's Danger Cat.
Not well at all.
I'll be honest, I think I'd do pretty well because I would be the guy that like...
Well, we're waiting.
Yeah. Finish that sentence.
I'm saying not that. I'm saying, like, I'm pretty good at, like, riding the fence on, like, knowing what people want to, you know. I can make you happy when you need something, you know. You say, hey, do this, I'll do it. And I might, if you feel away, I'm not going to, like, conflict your opinion on something to your face. But I could go pretty good at, like, going behind people's back and being, like, friends with everybody along the way. That way they don't hurt me, you know?
Oh, but then that would get around, and then you'd be hurt because you stabbed everybody in the back. You were playing everybody.
And then I would literally get stabbed in the back. That's a good... Oh, man.
That's how you lose Big Brother.
I also don't think I'd ever leave my cell on a fear of being injured.
He got a little pretty mouth, ain't he?
That's the truth.
So you'd say you would do well in prison, but you would never leave your cell because you were fearful of getting injured.
Actually, I'd like to completely change my answer. I would do very poorly in prison because, honestly, man, when I'm just, like, sitting at home alone on Sundays not doing anything, it sucks. I like hanging out with people, and you don't get to really hang out with that many people.
Well, you're in the yard, you get to hang out with the fellas.
What kind of crime did you commit here that you're not hanging out with
No,
people?
I mean, like, communicating with people and, like...
Like, are you on death row? Like,
well, then
yes. Hypothetically, yes. I don't know.
Then, yeah, that's pretty miserable.
All I know is if I get a chance to work out with the guys and do some lifting, let me play a little hoops, I think I get along well with everybody.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you wouldn't last all that long in the hoops game.
I would say something smart-ass and then be knifed.
Got to make friends with Cheeseburger Eddie.
And that's the truth, with some cheese on it. I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll... I just got burgers.
I don't know who Cheeseburger Eddie is. I
Never seen Longest Yard?
That's a long time ago. See, I haven't seen the new one.
Did you know Bill Snyder was in that movie?
Big if true.
He looked just like Adam Sandler. That's the only scene I've seen in the new one.
The greatest
because
turnaround.
the old one was perfect and didn't need to be remade.
The greatest turnaround in prison football history exists here today.
You know, when they put Adam Sandler in that hot box, I was like, I can never go to prison.
Yeah. When Andy Dufresne got 2 months in the hole, don't think so.
That's like legit torture.
Yeah. To hell with that, man. To hell with that.
From Queso Cat, what is the best menu item in Manhattan that includes cheese of some sort?
I think we pressured him into only asking cheese questions.
He asked legitimate questions in the first part of the podcast.
I mean,
or the real podcast.
I mean, like overtime
Only this
questions because we criticized him for not asking cheese questions last week.
Well, he dropped the ball.
Cheese.
There's cheese on raspberry black bean dip, so
technically correct.
There you go.
Really? You're going there?
I've eaten that as a meal before.
I'll go high-low pizza.
Well, but the mac and cheese.
That's what you did.
The best cheese product in town is the Cox Brothers Mac and Jack.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
That's incredible.
Could we
go and get a 3-meat platter. You get 2 sides. I get Mac and Jack and Mac and Jack.
I told my mom, so we had Cox Brothers cater my graduation, and she was like, you get, two sides for the catering. You just want to do like baked beans and potato salad, pretty bland. And I was like, no, we're definitely doing Mac and Jack as one of the sides.
Right.
Like, my graduation, I did this.
That's the only reason I showed up.
I mean, they're universal. I hate baked beans.
Yeah, it's a terrible side.
But it's a common catering barbecue side that a majority of people like. Mm-hmm. As sad as it is to live in that life, could we get the Hilo and Cox Brothers to collaborate and we get a mac and cheese pizza with the Mac and Jack?
Hilo mac and cheese isn't good enough for you?
No, I mean, it is.
It's
but
pretty traditional mac and cheese, though. The Mac and Jack, though, it's jacked. It's good.
Just ask for some pepper jack on your Hilo pizza.
Not the same. It's not the same.
Okay.
Next.
From Ema Wildcat 82, is Yo a result of the midnight matinees shown at the Varsity Theater?
What is the story on who Yo is?
We don't know, but it used to, before years ago, when Aggieville was really a diverse area and had gas stations, like the corner where Buffalo Wild Wings was a gas station. I'm told that our building was actually a garage. Now, how they got cars in and out of there, I'm unclear, but that's what it was. They bring them in through the alley, and someone was killed underneath the car like at the Jackville.
Yeah.
That was a story I heard. I don't know if there's any truth to it. All I know is Yo's real, and I don't want to go back and see him again because he might be pissed we left him.
I like to think there was an accident in the Varsity Theater and somebody hid the body.
There is a chance that Yo was actually a guy that went to the Varsity Theater to watch porn when it showed there, because before VHS, yes, they showed it in movie theaters, and Yo never died there, but he loved the things he experienced while at the Varsity Theater, that when he died, he came back there.
Well, that was another in a long series of regrettable life choices.
From Danny Fap 1. I don't have. What is your least favorite or overused coach speak cliche? Got to go 1-0 this week. 1-0. That's all we're focused on. 1-0 this week. That's it.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell that. Everybody's like, football's a team game. Okay, it's not a team game. Okay, I did my part. All right, I put in a great game plan. I mean, these players, they're horrible. My players are no good. I mean, everybody's like, no excuses. I got 22 excuses. 11 on my offense and 11 on my defense. Do we have a chance next week? No, we don't. We're 0-8. We're not good at football. I got 3 white receivers. I tried to recruit bigger, better players to come play for us, but they went to good schools. I mean, they're all talking in the locker room like, we're a team, we're in this together, no matter what happens, we're together. Like, not me, dude, I'm out of here. This team's terrible.
Honestly, man, I have so many that I hate, that I love to hate to love, however you want to put it. The one that just irks me off so much, and I don't mean to call out a current player, but Adam Holtorf, when you ask about the offensive line issues, it's, what do you guys got to do better to fix the issues on the offensive line? Just consistency. Of what? What consistency do you need to fix? And I know he's probably getting that from Connor Riley or Chris Kleiman or somebody, but that doesn't make any sense. We just need to be more consistent.
The one I hate, and I catch myself using it in basketball, is score the ball. Which, it makes sense. You pass the ball, you dribble the ball, you score the ball. But God, I hate that, and yet I say it once in a while.
But honestly, there's so many. We're only focused on Team X this week. We're not looking down the road yet. We just take it one game at a time. No, you don't. BS. I don't know if I can cuss yet. Texas did not give a about whoever they played before Oklahoma. They have had the Oklahoma game circled for weeks.
They didn't care about LSU? They lost to LSU.
Yeah.
They didn't play LSU before Oklahoma.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
Yeah. They lost at home to LSU.
I retract that comment then. But still. The 1-0, the take it one day at a time, just get a little bit better. Sorry to throw Coach Snyder under the bus there.
The little things. We got to keep doing the little things right.
Focus on detail.
Focus on the details. It'll all pay off in the end. Want to know this week?
So good. That's a great question.
From CFID, I think that's how he wants it pronounced, right?
I don't know, man.
I think that's right. What is your favorite whiskey/beverage after a win and after a loss?
I'm a Woodford Reserve guy.
I think he said Woodford in his question.
Yeah, I love Woodford Reserve. Love it. Little rocks, a splash of water, so I don't have to wait for the ice to melt, because I love it and I want it right then.
One of the things I really enjoyed doing is, I'm a big Crown Coke guy, so I go home, have a drink, and then it's on like those nights where like nobody's in town like doing anything, I don't have anybody to go see or anything like that, and I just go home and I'm scheduling like content tweets for the morning and like, whatever, sending newsletters, just kind of sitting there relaxing. Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
Feels good.
Oh yeah.
Also, I had a Crown Coke after I finished my Big 12 Championship postgame coverage, and that was about 3:30 in the morning. Felt great at the time. Didn't feel good when I woke up at 8 to go to church the next day. Yeesh. Should not have stayed up for that.
Well, after the devil comment, you're free. You're good. You don't have to worry about that.
For me, it's just water because I'm usually pretty dehydrated after the game, being on the field in the heat.
It's fair.
With no water in sight.
If you want my technical, one game example, it was when we were in West Virginia last year, and I went over to the sports bar across the street to watch the end of a football game, and I had a rather large Yingling. That was the best post-game drink I ever had. So there you go.
Last question of the podcast from AZCat05. I must admit, sometimes I have to listen to the podcast twice since I fall asleep. What soothing sounds do you listen to in order to fall asleep at night or an afternoon nap?
I actually have an answer to this.
I don't listen to anything, guys.
Do you have to have a fan or anything?
I have to have my fan on because it's hot, but
But it makes noise. You probably
it's
if it wasn't
it's
on.
a ceiling fan.
Oh, yeah.
No, I really have never. Knock on wood. I really have never struggled with oh wow, I gotta have something going on in my head to listen to or anything like that. I've just never been that type of person. I am when I'm on planes. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. You missed it.
You missed
We're just
it.
gonna move on.
I am on planes. Can't sleep on planes if I'm not listening to anything. But
music to block everything out.
Yeah.
We have started listening to ocean waves. Not very loud, but it's there.
Interesting.
One day we were listening to Thunderstorm, and it's not very loud. And I wake up in the morning and I thought it was raining. But I forgot I put it on. But I listen to ocean waves almost every night now.
I love rain.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're telling me, do you want to sleep with rain on your window every night? Absolutely.
No, I mean, the sounds.
Yeah.
The sounds.
I mean, yeah, we just have we got an Alexa next to our bed, and I got a speaker hooked up to it, a small speaker, and we just put on ocean waves. It plays all night.
Could you tell Alexa to play, rain?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That'd be kind of dope.
Yeah, we do that. Rain. I mean, a bunch of things. Wind.
Do you think Siri would play rain if I told her to?
Yeah, absolutely. Try it.
Play rain.
Are you going to play?
Hold on.
Purple rain.
I'm on it.
What?
Sorry, I can't play that right now. Please try again later.
Ask her to play rain sounds.
Hey, Siri, play rain sounds.
If it's not on your phone, it probably won't.
I don't know. Maybe she has it programmed in
I'm
there.
on it. I couldn't find it.
Yeah. It's got to be in the music.
Oh, see, that sucks. I can ask Alexa, and she just plays stuff.
How nice of her.
The new Siri, if you do the Hey Siri thing, it always ding. It doesn't ding anymore. She just goes, mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Well, there we go. Hey, Siri, load things onto Riley's phone that could get him arrested so he could do time so we could see how he does in prison. That's it for the podcast. It's been the overtime. We hope you enjoyed it. Go forth into your weekend. Remember, the game's at 11. That's a.m. You have to wake up. So don't get carried away in Aggieville tonight or whateverville you're in. Temper yourselves, folks, and then meet down in Aggieville after the Wildcats beat the Sooners. Or if the Sooners beat the Wildcats. Either way, Aggieville, Saturday night, Riley will be there. You should too.
You've been listening to the PowerCat Overtime Podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. PowerCat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street Publishing.
Spring training is right around the corner, which means it's time to start prepping for the fantasy baseball season. Join us on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, 4 times per week in January as part of the CBS Sports Podcast Network. Scott White, Chris Towers, and me, Frank Stamfel, will be delivering the latest news, rankings, and strategies in just 5 minutes. Make sure to download and follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Odyssey app, and everywhere else podcasts are found.